Welcome back. It's still Daybreak Extra on Trust TV, live from our studios in Abuja. All right, next we will be talking about an interesting topic, that's domestic violence. So now cases of domestic violence in Nigeria have taken an upward swing in recent weeks, especially the physical aspect of domestic violence. If it's not about a man beating a woman, it's sometimes also about a woman beating a man. Now, in most cases, the police nab and prosecute the culprits in accordance with the laws of the land. You find most marriages ending. Now, we have the stories on our newspapers daily. You have most marriages ending as a result of domestic violence. Now, this is the issue we will be looking at today. Feel free to call us and tell us what you think about domestic violence, what the causes of domestic violence are, and what can be done to put a stop to this disturbing issue. You can call us on the number displayed on your screen, and when you call, don't forget to please move away from your TV set so we get to interact with you. Sumaya, talking about this interesting issue, it's something that's really disturbing, actually.
It is.
It has broken a lot of marriages.
It is. We've seen the situation. Okay, if it even leaves a broken marriage, it's different, from somebody ending up getting hurt, and even others are dead. It's really a sad situation. You remember years back when we had a situation of Mariam and Bilyamin, that, these people, everybody witnessed their love. Everyone, was
and
shocked. There was a testimony of this love story was a mind-blowing love story. What happened? How did it end with one hurting the other? So many people have gone through it. A lot of women have died in marriages. A lot of men have died in marriages. A lot of men are silent because they get hit by their wives and they can't say it publicly, like my wife hit me, because they want to maintain the whole personality of I'm a man, and all that. So if you don't tell people, how would it get solved? And other times the women are the one that get bashed, you get hit. There was a video of, I think, Instagram influencer Pinky. She was alive with about 3 guys, and then her boyfriend came. And the live, her phone was still recording. The guy came and started hitting her, and they were fighting, and she was throwing insult at him, and he was punching her. And from the look of things, it didn't seem like it was something new. It seemed like something that has been happening.
Wow. It's right now becoming a norm. But then still talking about this, there are laws in the land. We have the Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act, that's the VAP 2015. And this gives protection for people against this kind of cases. And also in that VAPE Act, we have, I think, Section 19, subsection 1 and 2, which provides penalties for the faulters. It talks about, I think, not more than 3 years upon conviction, and also, or a fine of 200,000 naira,
which is a small fine, honestly. I think that's why
that's
people are
something
doing
that we should, because a lot of people have called for reviews of this laws to match what we have currently, or the current situation on ground. And also there is if there is an attempt for that, there's also not more than 1 year, I think, and then 100,000 fine. So okay, I think
honestly,
we'll hear from
that looks small. See, if we go back to how the Westerners do this, let's take the USA for example. There is extreme law that goes beyond you just paying 100,000 fine and all that. It makes sure it gives you the punishment that tomorrow you won't be tempted to do something like that.
When laws are put in place like this and people are punished for what they do, it serves as a deterrent to others. So definitely, this happened to so person. No way, I don't want this to come my way. So I would rather not go into that. So, but when you have, like you said that there needs to be a review on that law.
True.
It's kind of
I know a situation where a couple, I think a wife went to the station to actually complain. Anyways, I think we have a caller already. Good morning. Good morning. Okay, I think we lost that caller. Please call the number on your screen to tell us what are the causes and what are the solutions, because we're not all about pointing out problems. We need the solutions, you know, because a lot of things are going on in this society. A lot of marriages that, you know, breaking or breaking at the end of the love story, it all boils down to, should I say most of it anyways, all boils down to hitting each other, hating each other. And at what point would you look at your spouse to tell yourself, I am so angry that I have to hit your face?
Okay, we have this caller. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good
Morning.
What's your name and where are you calling from, please?
My name is Usman Samtraki, calling from Yola, Adamawa State.
Okay, Usman, thank you for joining us today.
How is it? How's the day?
Fine, thank you. So tell us your opinion.
Sumaya, barka da sallah. Ban ga goron sallah na ba.
Thank you, Usman. Tell us your take, please.
I don't have anything to say because I'm just opening the TV, but I want to say hi to you and continue the good job you are doing over there, people.
Okay.
It seems today Usena is not around. I don't know, maybe she's on leave or not.
Yeah. Yeah, she's fine. I would extend your regards. Thank you so much, Usman from Yola, for calling. Okay, don't forget to call us on the number on your screen, and please tell us what are the causes and what could be the possible solutions for domestic violence. Yeah, good morning. We have another caller there. Please stay away from your TV set as you're calling us. Can you hear us? Good morning. Okay, I think we have to off that call because we keep getting feedback. Please, if you want us to talk, if you want us to hear what you're saying, stay away from your TV set or tune down the volume of your TV set. So that way we can talk, please. This is a really serious problem that is eating the society, and we need to have a deep conversation. So it's not okay to hear yourself talk from the TV, of course. Jana, you were talking about laws and all that. And when it comes to, you know, law of these things, I feel like when they are extreme law, people get scared. Okay, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, what's your name and where are you calling from, please?
This is Yusuf Abakar Amana calling you from Niger State.
Okay, Yusuf from Niger State. So what are the causes and possible solutions to domestic violence?
Many causes, many things can cause domestic violence. You understand? Firstly, is it temper? You hear some people, they say they have high temper. You understand? They get angry very easily and all that. But the solution is what I would like to talk about. You understand?
Okay.
And part of what I felt is there should be a serious law binding on people that are engaging in that act. Because you cannot just see, because you have a girlfriend or you have a wife, you just due to misunderstanding, you start to beat each other and all that. You understand? So, and I only think it's only in this country that you'll be finding such thing. If you travel out of the country, you hardly see where a husband will just molest the wife and all that. You understand? But the most important thing that I would say last is the women too should one restrict their spouse, their husband, and do what he likes. You understand? Because most times you find out that maybe the husband has warned you that this thing I don't like it. That is the particular thing that a woman will. You understand? But that doesn't give you permission to
of course,
to start punching. Yes. So that is my little contribution this morning, and I'm very happy to talk to you.
Okay, thank you so much, Yusuf, for calling in.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's Yusuf from Niger. When he was saying that the women provoke sometimes, I'm like, but it doesn't
Whatever was going through my mind was, thank God you said that.
Yes, he clarified. He said there is nothing that justifies.
No,
I remember a situation that we're watching a movie, and then my mom is like, there is no reason for you to hit my daughter. If she does something that you don't like, then come to me. I would rather do the hitting myself, but not you putting your hands on her. And you can never add it up the strength of a man or woman. But anyways, it's not just about gender violence against women. It's also against men too, because men go through the same situation. Okay, good morning.
Hello, good morning. I'm Hamza Umar calling you from Katsina.
Okay, Hamza from Katsina. Thank you for joining us.
Yes.
So what's your take on domestic violence?
Okay, let me first commend you for choosing this a very disturbing topic of discussion. When you talk about domestic violence, I think it is a global challenge and a global issue. It happens almost in every part of the world. But my own take, domestic violence causes a lot of problems, even sometimes even death, particularly in Africa. Or let me set example with my own country, Nigeria. In every household, or if you have a friend, a wife, a girlfriend, or everyone, sometimes you may have some kind of little misunderstanding. But the major problem is a psychological problem. If you have a problem, the religion of Islam teaches us, if you are provoked, if you are standing, you better sit down. If you are sitting down, you better lie down so that your temper will be cool. But unfortunately, sometimes domestic violence occurs due to the high rate of drugs abuse. Because as a responsible gentleman, how could you beat your wife? How could you abuse your wife if you are normal? But sometimes if you are drunk, you may be upset so that you will start beating your wife or abusing your wife. Or sometimes if you take a hard drugs, you can easily beat your wife. But the major problem occurs in the northern part of Nigeria due to poverty. When you come home, your wife asks you to feed your children, but you don't have a single naira, you may end up being provoked. So this problem is a global issue, but the major way to solve this problem is our religious leaders. I think a Muslim every Friday or every day go to mosque. Every Sunday Christian go to church. So it is a high time for our religious leaders to make sure that they preach people. They even force people to stop domestic violence because it creates so many problems. How will you feel if you witness your daddy beating your wife? Or your mother, or your mother beating your daddy? You may feel something bad in your mind. So let me finally call on religious leaders and critical stakeholders, particularly community leaders and school. If possible, the school curriculum, the social studies teachers should try as much as possible to teach learners or students the danger and the problem of domestic violence, so that they will understand the danger, so that they will avoid domestic violence. Thank you very much, and we are absolutely proud of you, Trust TV. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Hamza from Katsina, for that wonderful contribution. Okay, I agree with him. Just the one thing that he forgot also is the parent. Because when children grow seeing their father hitting their mom or mom hitting their dad, they
tend to duplicate
that. So, yeah, parents.
Some of the interesting things he mentioned there that stands out is the issue of drugs.
Yes, drugs. Hold on that thought. We have another caller there. Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Yeah, what's your name and where are you calling from, please?
My name is Abdullah Sumakama Agerabi from Natural State.
Okay, we have a caller from Natural State. Thank you for joining us. So what's your take on the causes and solution of domestic violence?
Yes, the causes of domestic violence. In fact, I'm one of the victim of domestic violence. Yes, I have 2 wives. Yes.
Go ahead, we can hear you.
Yes, I think it's lack of patience from both parties, both the husband and wife. You know, if you came together, you have to tolerate one another. Yes, because it also affects the psychological development of your children, because you cannot be fighting, quarreling with your wife in the front of your children. They might be in school, but their mind will be at their children with their parents.
That is true. Indeed. Do you have more to say?
So let me share this experience with you.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I have a wife and 4 children. Then I go ahead and added another wife. So when I added another wife, it got back for my first son. But before I realized, when that child is 7 months, she was pregnant. Just 7 months, she was pregnant. So when she came to me that she was pregnant, I was mad. I was like confused. How would she be pregnant when she has a baby of just 7 months? So I couldn't put her in word because I was totally mad. So for me to control myself, I didn't say a word to her. Before I realized, before I knew it, she took me to the court of law. Now, why would she told me that she's pregnant and I couldn't tell her anything? So that caused our separation. Now we are no more together. So you see, there is no tolerance, there is no patience. So the only thing I think that can be able to resolve all this problem, all this mess, if you are together, please let's understand one another. Understanding is key in this issue of domestic violence. Because there is no how you are with your wife and you don't understand each other. You don't share common view. You don't even talk to your wife. You don't take for advice. She will just be seeing you doing your things. Even if she asks, you won't be able to explain anything to her. She's your wife, she's your partner. I think she's next to you. So that is my take on it. Your program this morning, wish you the best, and let's try and tolerate one another.
Thank you so much for that contribution, and we hope that you find a solution to your own problem, of course. Really sad
really
take
sad,
there. Now, when we talk about domestic violence, sometimes it doesn't even have to be physical, you know. It comes emotionally. You torture each other with insults and bad looks and all that. All that could hurt a lot of people. Okay, so we have another caller. Good morning.
Good morning. How is everything? How is the work?
Fine, thank you. What's your name and where are you calling
from? Okay, I'm Pastor James from Kaduna.
Okay, welcome, Pastor. So tell us,
Hello?
please. Yes, we can hear you. Tell us what are the possible solutions for domestic violence.
Yes, that is what I actually want to contribute now.
Okay.
Good morning, lady.
Good morning.
Yes, yes, actually, this is a good topic. The husband and the wife must reason together. They love themselves before they marry each other. And we should not pick offense on each other at time. Because there are situations whereby you can equally tolerate. That brings maturity. In Christian religion, they say it's man and the woman that marry. It's not boy and girl. So that maturity, that composition has to be there. The wife should know her position as a wife, and the husband should know his position as a husband. The Bible says husband must love and the wife must submit. There are some actually, even in Islamic religion and Christian religion, they bias in when they want to preach concerning marriage and particularly violence. What ignites violence is the wife says, I know better. The husband says, I know better. So they don't want to learn from each other. If learning is on one-sided, the change cannot take effect. Teacher must be there, then the learner. When the learner listens, there must be change. Change must take effect. So as a woman, you should abide by the rules and regulations of marriage. As a man, you should abide by the regulation of marriage as well. Know your position. As a Muslim, there are rules and regulations written for marriage. As a Christian, there are rules and regulations for marriage. So when you say, I know better, violence must come. When somebody will say that maybe the husband is a mad person or maybe it's not in sense or is not correct in the brain, that is why he can stand up and slap the wife, or the wife can stand up and then slap the husband or beat the husband. That is actually not true per se. There must be something wrong. Hello?
Yes,
We can hear
we
you.
can hear you.
There is something wrong in between. And that in between is Satan the devil. Satan ignites everything. Satan motivates everything. But God himself brings in peaceful coexistence. You say, no, tolerate your husband. You love him before you marry him. Tolerate your wife. You love her before you marry her. No one is infallible. I can make mistakes per time. You can make mistakes per time. But when understanding comes, there are some things you tolerate, you avoid it. When your husband is very angry, keep off. When your wife is very angry, keep off. And then later you say, darling, maybe on the bed, when you people have a soft maybe relationship, you realize, then you tell her, darling, my wife, my husband, this what said last time is not proper. This what you did last time is not proper. And at last, if God bless the marriage with children, you said it before your husband, my children. You abused me. Yes, I knew I offended you, but you abused me before the children. It is not proper, and so on and so forth. But when you say you abused me before my children, I will abuse you also before your children. You understand? It means I know better. IKB can never help in marriage. So we should be avoiding IKB. I know better. No, we shouldn't. There are sometimes you act foolishly in marriage. Sometimes you act wisely in marriage. The occasion demands for any system of marriage. When the checks and balance, peaceful coexistence is inevitable in marriage. But when there is no checks and balance, violence is inevitable in marriage. Thank you.
Thank
God
you
bless us.
so much, Pastor James from Jos. Okay,
Yes.
first,
Yes.
yes, he made a lot of points, Dana. First one I want to say was him insisting on, he came to represent the religious leader and saying that we need to make more awareness, create more awareness, and religious leaders are not really fair. We grew up seeing, say, the Christians before marriage, 6 months there is counseling and all that. But when it comes to the Islam part, we only see the women keep getting chastised. Do it. Listen to your husband. Do this. But there is no forum. There is no provision for the men also to get told, like, these are things that you should do and these are things you shouldn't do. Manage your anger. You're the head, and if you're the head, you're supposed to acquire a lot of knowledge when you're going to it. Marriage is like a war. You're going to a war. You need, to be set. You need to come with. You need to come prepared. So if you don't, oh my God, I think we have another caller there.
What's your name and where are you calling from?
Okay, can you hear us? Okay, I think we lost that caller there. So as I was saying about what Pastor Jim said, he said, so these are things that we need to create more awareness to.
Sure.
And parents, of course, need to tell their child, like, it's not about you being right all the time. He mentioned that, that sometimes you can be the wise one. Sometimes you can be the foolish one.
Okay.
Okay, so we have another caller. Good morning.
Hello,
Yeah, good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
my name is Kelvin. I'm calling from Kaduna.
Sorry, Godwin from?
Kelvin, calling from Kaduna.
Okay,
Kelvin
Kelvin from Kaduna. Thank you for joining us, Kelvin. So what are the possible solutions that you think we could use to handle domestic violence?
Okay, well, there are many causes that I can go to a short solution.
Okay.
The solution, I feel, as we are getting educated, we should create a room whereby we should be studying about relationship in school, from primary education to higher education. So by the time we pass through all these stages, primary school, secondary school, and then higher education, we should know about each other. Then when we get married to each other, we live better. And anything violent, it will be minimized.
Sure.
So I feel that is the best solution.
Okay.
And then some of us that they are going into intermarriage, all these solutions will be solved as the process of we going into marriages. We learn about relationship, how to live with one another, and then we should encourage intermarriage. We shouldn't be saying it's not my language, it's not from my state, it's not my religion. We should be taught all these things in school. Because some people, you can find out they are educated, but they are novice into relationship. They don't know how to manage their anger. They don't know how to communicate. In fact, they lack a lot of things. So because of that, you see, they have issues. Immediately they get married, they have issues. And they cannot manage their anger. They cannot even communicate. They go into violence. On the process of learning how to live together, you see, you will discover that these people do not match. They are just trying to impress each other, pretending to belong to each other, which there's nothing in common for these people to live together. So you discover that the end of it is violence, and then you fall apart. So that is what I think should be a better solution.
Okay.
We should, we should educate ourselves right from primary school.
Okay.
We should groom ourselves how to be led well.
That's true. Thank you so much, Kelvin from Kaduna, for
Thank
that
you.
wonderful thing. Nana, you agree with him?
Yes, I do, because when you teach a child at a young age what they should do, there's a huge tendency that they might not deviate from that teaching. So mostly, but then what you teach a child should not be different from what they see. Because if they see something else and you tell them something else, the tendency is that they will do what they see and not do what you say. So that should go hand in hand. When you say it, make sure you practice it at home and then they see. And also in school, like some of our callers have said, make sure it's taught in school.
That's true, from the scratch. Okay, we have another caller there. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, what's your name and where are you calling from?
Yeah, I'm Aladi Imran, calling from Lagos,
Okay. Okay, thank you for joining us from Lagos.
You're welcome.
Okay.
About the topic that you people are saying, first and foremost, domestic violence, you have it in different ways. There are some times that if a woman
and a man marry together, when they are together, from the initial stage, they will be together for so many years. But in other ways, the woman or the man may have a strong-head woman, or the man too may have a strong-head woman, a man. If they are joined together, they may likely have domestic violence every day. But in other ways, if the man is a cool-tempered man and the wife too is hot-tempered, the moment anything, small thing comes out, the woman will just raise up her voice. And if the husband is petting her down, she will not. And that one can bring a domestic violence. The same thing applies to a man too. If the man is a hot-tempered somebody and the woman too is a cool-tempered, it will bring misunderstanding between both of them. And two, there are some other things that comes from this domestic violence. So it will come from maybe the families or the thing. There are so to say that there are some women, if they are in-laws, maybe the father of the husband or the mother of the husband will come and he will not like this thing. But whenever the families of that the wife comes, he will like the husband to be fair with them. And that's not, it shouldn't be like that. We are together. If you are a Muslim, you have to be a Muslim. If you are a Christian, you have to study. Now that Christians is marrying Muslims, Muslims is marrying a Christian, we have to come together. But we are having a word of changing. Because in our forefathers and foremothers, in the olden days, we lived together. Our father can marry about 3 or 4. There wouldn't be problem. They will live together and then be happy. But now, if we try it, we have different type of women and we have different type of men. But we believe that I'm a good Muslim or I'm a good Christian. It's within their mouth. It's not within their heart. Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, when she was alive, he married a wife of Edison. But they lived together. Whenever one wants to do this, he will call her and say, "Oh boy, just suspicious." But not in this present world, my dear sister. Not in this present world. No matter what the woman, even if she's a pastor or pastorian, if a little thing happens, he will not take it easy with his husband. Look, there was a friend of mine. One day I visited him. Then the wife, just a minor something. When I read there, we were together laughing and this and that. Just a small misunderstanding. The woman have to change. Because look at me, I have to allow my friend to follow me out. Because if I leave the man in, I don't know what will happen. Because the woman was saying that anything can happen. That anything can happen, that particular word, it means a lot. So I have to tell my friend, "Oh boy, follow me." And in the time that the woman heart will come down, the same thing applies to men too. No, it is only Almighty God that will save us in this domestic violence. There are so many types of things. Not that maybe man and woman will be there. No, there are so many. What is called a husband can bring a domestic violence within the husband and wife. You understand? So in fact, it's only God and the prayers. God will give you your husband. God will give you your wife. Let us pray for that. But the moment a satanic entered, because there are some certain things that a woman will go out and then be friends. A fat woman who is a false something, who believes in Almighty God, Almighty Allah, will think twice if she goes out and the friends advise her that look, this what how much your husband give you. The wife to say, the woman will say, my husband, they will just treat the woman. She will get an upset listen. You understand? So the moment you reach home, in that annoyance, if you have the husband, look, I need to say things. Husband say, look, That is I've been reading for so many years. It's what the woman will start and it will bring domestic violence. So it is only God that can control us in this domestic violence. Thank you very, very welcome.
Okay, thank you, Elijah from Lagos. Yes, Elijah said a lot of things, but it still boils down to, you know, tolerance and religiously, if you're angry, just like I think a caller said, you should, if you're standing, you should sit. If you're sitting, you should lie down. If you're angry, you move out. Just walk away from that quarrel. And if one person is high, then the other person needs to be low.
There's no need to even talk when you're angry. When you're angry, it's better to just walk away, because anything you do at that point might be something you would regret for a long time.
That's true. Lots of people, you know, there's a lot of stakeholders in this matter. There's a lot of people that need to contribute in order to avoid domestic violence. For example, we have the teachers, society, parents, you yourself. Okay, I think we have a caller, and this would be the last call. So who is that lucky person? Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, what's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Michael. I'm calling from Ibadan.
From?
From Ibadan, yes.
Oh, Ibadan.
You're welcome.
Okay, welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much. I think domestic violence is triggered by a variety of reasons. The most important thing is the fact that men are born with superior physical ability. And you don't challenge somebody that cannot beat. That's just one of it. And another thing is that a lot of people are brought up in dysfunctional, from dysfunctional family backgrounds, where their parents were used to beating each other. I don't have a lady once say that if a man did not beat her, that man did not love her. So these are a clear evidence of the fact that such person was brought up or was raised from a background that was quite dysfunctional. Now, solution. There are I think we have adequate laws to take care of the problem, but the major issue we have is the implementation of those laws. If you look at it very well, there are quite a number of laws which I consider quite adequate to tackle the problem of domestic violence. But how are these laws implemented? Very horribly. Most times when cases of domestic violence are reported at the right places, they begin to call people to come in a round table conference. It's a family issue, this and that, certain things to be affected, and so on and so forth. So a lot of statements is brought into it. So what we have to do now as parents is to begin to show good example to the children that we are raising. For instance, when I was brought up, I never saw my father beat my mother before. So as I got married, obviously, that inequality is being transferred to my kids. I will never beat my wife, no matter what. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Interesting caller there. Last caller from Ibadan. Yes. Dana, let's wrap up this domestic violence thing. What's your take on this domestic violence thing and the solution?
You know, I think, like you said earlier, a lot of stakeholders are involved in this. We have family members, besides the nuclear family, could be stakeholders, because a lot could come from outside also. And then when you talk about the laws, like our last caller rightly said, implementation is a problem, because a lot of states have domesticated this VAP Act, and it's like, it's there, but then people don't even know that the laws exist, because so we should do a lot about publicizing and letting people know their rights and what they should do if they fall into cases like this, and also implementation, because we need to see people being punished for what they have done. That's so that could serve as a deterrent to others.
That's true.
Yeah.
And of course, please, we need to work on it. If you need counseling, go for counseling because you need to manage your temper. You can't go around hitting everybody that disagrees with you. If you're a lady, you're a lousy lady. So go out there and look for help. If you're a guy, go out there and look for help. If you love someone, there is no way your first thought is when you're angry with that person is to hit that person. It doesn't make sense at all.
And to me, you know, this culture of men should bottle up. And I think we have to talk about this also because men should learn to open up. If you see the reported cases, it's sadly news that women are mostly victims, women and girls. But the flip side is men are also victims of that. So I think men should come up and talk.
Okay, so we happen to just want to pick one last call because a lot of calls have been coming in, but I guess we lost that caller. I wanted to hear, you know, from a lady to tell us more about.
Because we've not had that.
Yes, the guys have been calling in to say a lot about this issue, and this issue is something that honestly I hope that maybe another time we get to bring this and we get to have more solutions, you know, to open the line. But of course, we have to stop here on the calling in on domestic violence. Do not go anywhere. When we come back, the show continue. Stay with us.